we're live. Excelente. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dr. Selfridge Live. We're diving right in. We're actually a minute early, which is pretty cool. I already see lots of folks popping in on the chat room, so we're going to say hello to some people. And remember, if you're new to the show, make sure you let us know, introduce yourself, let us know approximately where in the world you're watching from. That's always fun to know. And as you ask your questions, we love to have lots of questions about music and playing instruments. When you do ask a question about your instrument, make sure you let me know what instrument you're asking about. So let me know if you have a question about clarinet or flute or saxophone or trumpet or trombone, whatever instrument you might be asking about. So we're going to start saying hello to some people. And our friend is saying, I'm first. And I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but thank you for being first here. Good to see you. We're also going to say hello to Judy. Says, how can I play cough with saxophone? So I'm not 100% sure what your question is. So maybe, I don't know if you can ask that, maybe give me a little bit more info there. Not exactly sure what you're asking, but ask it again, please, and maybe I'll understand. Hello, our friend Mike Hamilton, who's here every week. Hola to Mike. And Judy is saying Afrobeat. Okay. So Afrobeat is a type of beat. Off the top of my head, I wouldn't exactly know how to explain that to you because that's something I would want to Google and look up. I'm familiar with it, but not 100%. Matthew is here. Hello to Matthew. Good to see you. And Matthew is coming right in with a request, the Price is Right theme on clarinet, which is a new one to me. So, it's a new request. I absolutely know the Price is Right. So let's do this. Let's dive right in to requests. I want to listen to this song. I have to think how it goes. It's not like coming to my brain right now. I think I'm getting confused with the Family Feud theme song. Price is Right theme. That's an interesting request. It's the first time I've gotten that one. Price is Right theme song. Okay, while I'm getting this ready, I'm going to say hello. Oh, yeah. Well, Mike Hamilton is saying, welcome back, Dennis. So we're going to welcome back Dennis. We're going to bring you on for a sec and say hello. Ready? I'm going to say, that's the wrong. Oh, I know what I need to do. Hold on there a second, Dennis. Sorry, I just need to do this. I have my sound going. Oh, I'm just going to do this. There we go. No, that's not what I need to do. Okay, let's see. Yes. I have my live stream sound going. I can't have that. All right, okay. I think I fixed it. And now I think I can officially say hello to Dennis. So I am going to bring you on. Dennis, sorry about that.
I'm here.
Okay.
That's okay.
I realized my laptop sound was playing the live stream, which is not a good thing.
Right.
Welcome back.
Thanks. I enjoy it.
Yep. Got a welcome back from Mike, and I'm sure everybody else.
I saw that, Mike. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. And would you care to share? I think you said things are going really well with the play you're working on.
Oh yeah, much ado about nothing. At the Players Club of Swarthmore are going to be. It's really going to be good.
Yeah.
We just have the organization, and the nice part is, the people who are working on the play all have really good reputation. So we had an awful lot of really good turnout of really quality actors.
Wow.
We had a choice, and it really makes such a difference.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it. It's in March?
Yep. Yes, March 17th to April 1st.
Okay. Fantastic.
St. Patty's Day to April Fools.
Well, it is kind of it's a sort of, would you describe it as a farce or what's the right word for that?
No, it's a comedy.
Comedy.
It's a romantic comedy in some respects. It's got a lot of things. It's one of those that he really gets to, to play with real emotions and the way people are, and the characters are really interesting.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun.
Fantastic. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. So we're going to check back in with Dennis in a little while, but Dennis is out there keeping an eye on the chat for us. So thank you.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to, and we had Matthew's request. So Let me give this a little listen here. Oh, right. Woo. So one thing I'm noticing right away is a lot of times when you have music on, you know, if you're listening to it on YouTube and it's been recorded off of, whether it's been recorded off of a reel-to-reel or an old audio tape or something, the pitch of the recording. So this particular Price is Right video is like halfway between keys, piano keys. So let me try to find. It's going to be hard for me to play because it's out of tune. Let me go here. Hear how it's like a little bit. I think that's basically it. So I'm going to play that in a sec, but I do want to say hello to Leonard. I do see your questions, and we're going to get to you next. There's a request for Cheap Thrills by Sia. I actually have a clarinet video on that, I think. And then a question about how to play higher notes on the flute. I will get to that next, okay? So first, I'm just going to do a little bit of this Price is Right theme. Ba-ba-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-da. I'll do the first part of it. How does that go? Ba-ba. That's an interesting little jump there. Whew. That's a kind of a weird, awkward interval. It goes. Let's check it out on the. This is what I'm working on. It's like high F. That's what it is. Let me listen to it again. Oh boy, it jumps around a lot. So annoying. Why can't it be easier? Okay, all right, okay. That's it. Okay, I'm going to play that much of it because I figured it out before my brain forgets it. Okay, so it's a jump. F, A, G. So on clarinet. Okay. Oh boy. And then this part's a little easier to play because it's like right there. Something like that. Let me keep listening. The next question is, why do you want to learn how to play this? It's a catchy tune. Then it repeats. Yeah. Something like that. All right. That brings back a lot of memories of staying home sick from school and watching daytime television. All right. Let's go to the next one here. Thank you, Matthew, for that. Now, let's do this question from Leonardo. Higher notes on the flute. This is a good question I can answer real quick or relatively quickly. So the flute, unlike a clarinet or a saxophone, the flute does not have an octave key. or on a clarinet, it's called a register key. Saxophone, it's an octave key. You play the low note, you press the key, and it moves it up into a higher range. On the flute, we have to do it with our airstream, with our lips. So let's say we take a G. So we're doing it right now. That G is on the second line of the staff, the low G of the flute. And the way you make that into a high octave is we have to do really two things. The aperture, or the opening of your lips, like the aperture of a camera. When you focus a camera, the aperture gets smaller. Okay, so just like we want to focus the lens of a camera, we focus, excuse me, we focus the aperture of our lips, and that makes the air stream smaller and faster. So, and there's another thing we do, ever so slightly, you take the tip of your lips and you push it away from your face, like toward the music stand. That little movement forward changes the angle of the airstream a little bit closer to the edge of the embouchure hole, and that makes the air change its vibration to a high note. So let me show you. Smaller focused aperture, and push your lips forward just a teeny tiny bit. Watch. Hear it when it jumps up the octave there? Actually, what I did that time, when it did a kind of a squeak, it actually went to an even higher overtone, we call it. Okay? So that was a real note. It was just higher than we wanted. What you want to practice making sure you don't do, a lot of learning flute players who are learning how to do the octaves, sometimes you can fall into a not good habit of just kind of blowing harder, because you can kind of make a high note come out just by blowing harder, like, right? So flute players kind of get into that bad habit of just blowing harder, but you have to control it because you don't want your high notes to just be louder than all your low notes. So it's making the aperture smaller and pushing your lips forward so you keep the same volume on both octaves. Try it on like a couple different notes, like a scale. It's a great exercise to do. Just go low, high, low. I'm going to show you one more thing. If you keep going with your aperture getting smaller and your lips going further out, you can get to the next overtone, which is a great thing to practice, like this. Hear that? That's an even higher note. So a really great thing to practice is to do your octaves and then do your root, octave, overtone fifth, like I just did. Like that. Okay. So, great thing to practice on the flute is controlling your octaves. Okay. More questions and more hellos. Hello to Tanner. A lot of familiar faces and people here. Shane is back. Hi, Shane. Let It Be. All right. So Leonardo wants Let It Be by the Beatles. Robert Buxton says hello. Hi, Robert. A good friend of ours. Okay. Yes, I got it. It is a great show. It's a great show. I remember, like I said, I remember watching it way back when it was Bob Barker. You remember that? Okay. Mike is asking about the saxophone part of Chills and Fever by Samantha Fish. Okay, this is a new one to me. Mike always introduces me to new songs, which is really cool. So let's go here. Chills and Fever, Samantha Fish. There it is. And there's a saxophone part that we're going to try to learn. So let's give this a little listen. Oh, so right off the bat, that, anyone know what type of saxophone that is? Here it is again. What type of saxophone is this? I'll figure out the note. While you give me the answer of what type of saxophone that is, I'm going to figure out the notes. it's what it is. Here, I'm doing it on the piano here. Let's listen to it again. Mike, you got it. It is a bari sax. So what I can do is I can figure it out on alto sax. Okay, so it's an A, and it's chromatic. I think he's going chromatic between the C and the C sharp. Yeah. So I'm going to be playing this, but I'm playing it an octave higher than the person is playing it on the recording because it's a bari sax. So, Mike, is there more to it than you want? Here's the intro. I think what he's doing there is this, because I'm trying to pick out what notes he's playing. You know, knowing how a saxophone works, I can tell that he's doing something with a side. You can hear the tone quality, right? When he goes, that's not it. I think he's holding the C, or he or she, whoever's playing, holding the C and then using the index finger to tap the palm key D right here. You really gotta. That's what's happening. Yep. Yeah, a lot of you guys are getting the right answer. It's a trill, right? So Mike was guessing that, and Jacqueline also got the right answer there. Identified what's happening. Leonardo says that sounds amazing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So a trill is when you go back and forth very quickly between two notes that are usually one step apart. So the primary note is going to a C. Now, actually, now that I hear that the song is in A minor, like here it is. Like, they're in C minor. Boom. Which is C minor on the piano. So now that I can get from that information that what he's playing at the top is chromatic. A sharp, B, C natural, because that would make it minor. And then trilling, I think this key right here. And then as they're going through the song, the sax player is doing these little background figures that fit in with the chords. So he's kind of going G sharp, back to A. So a pretty cool song. Let's listen a little bit more. Mike, I do have some tips for you for trilling. Yeah, that's basically it. So to help Mike out, one more step here about trilling. So trilling is on any woodwind instrument, or actually any wind instrument. You can trill on a trumpet too. You can't really trill on a trombone, you know. You can lip trill, but that's a whole nother topic. So trilling, the answer to this, Mike, unfortunately, it's not really any kind of secret trick I can tell you. It's basically start, like my answer for almost every other thing, start slowly and steady. Start slow and steady and just gradually increase. But your goal is, say we're trying to trill this trill for this song, right? You've got your C right here, and you're doing your sort of like your first knuckle here on there. So kind of like that, I guess, is how I would do it, and just start slow. And figure out what's the the fastest you can go while you still feel like you have control of keeping it at a regular pace. Once it starts to feel like it's kind of wild and you've got no control over it, right? That's where you've hit your limit. You got to take it back a few steps. And eventually, it's just a muscle memory thing. Your muscles and your brain, your neurons know exactly what connections to make to do what you want to happen, and then you can, over time, you can get. That's about the fastest That's something I could really work on too. This particular trill. It's easier for me if I'm doing like an A to B trill. It's just slow, and then work on speeding it up. That's basically all it is. Okay, we have some more hellos. Let's see. Now, Leonardo's got a lot of requests today, and that's awesome. So, Leonardo, what I would ask you to do is pick like the one you most want me to do, and I can do it today. Okay? Let's see. Robert got the right answer. It is a Barry sax, so did Tanner. And Judy says, I play saxophone in our school and wants to know all the scales. Okay? I have a video, Judy, called How to Play Every Note on the Alto Sax. I have some of the major scales I have videos done for, and there's probably more I could work on getting done to get all 12 major scales. So, Judy, do you know any scales? Let me just show you one scale, all right, just to get you started. And then I'm going to get to Jacqueline's question, Mission Impossible, okay? Jacqueline's request, Mission Impossible. Oh, right, there's a trill on the flute in the Mission Impossible intro, so I'll have to listen to that. Okay, so a basic scale on alto sax, one of the basic ones you learn is called a G major scale, because on the piano, it is a B flat major scale. And B flat is sort of like the most comfortable key for band instruments to play in. So on alto sax, we do a G major scale. We have to transpose, right? A B flat on the piano, we play a G scale. So a scale, here's some rules to remember for a scale. I tell my students this. Rules for a major scale. Number one, it has to start and end on the name of the scale. So we're playing a G major scale. We have to start on G. And we have to go to the top, one octave higher on G, and back down. That's the basic way to play a scale. Start on the name of the scale, go to the top, go one octave higher, or eventually you learn how to go 2 octaves. But let's just do one. G, G. And in between, here's the next rule. You have to go step by step every letter of the musical alphabet. So G, the next letter in the musical alphabet is A, because G is sort of like the end of the alphabet in music. We don't go to H or I or J. So it's G, A, then we have to go steps. B, C, D, E, F, G. And then the third rule is you have to follow the rules of, well, it gets a little bit complicated, but you have to know which sharps or flats to include. And in a G major scale, we have to put a sharp on the F. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And there you go. We followed the 3 rules. Start on the name of the scale. Go up step by step, hitting every musical letter. And another rule is you can't repeat letters. Like you can't go G, A, B, C, C sharp. You can't have a C and a C sharp in the same scale. There's some slight caveats to that when we get into complicated scales, but basically you've got to have one letter of each, one note of each letter. Okay, there we go. Let's go to the Mission Impossible theme. Let's check it out. And then I see Leonardo came back in with Summertime on the flute. I can definitely do that for you. Let's do Jacqueline's request of Mission Impossible, because I want to see, I can hear it in my head, but I'm not sure which note it starts on. Let's give a little listen. It's like a remix version. I'm going to go to the original. This is also that was like the updated version from the new movies. Here's the original. Okay. So, I hear a couple instruments there, actually. What do you hear in there? Definitely hear the flute. I think a clarinet is in there, too. And a violin. I don't know. I feel like I'm hearing several instruments there. But, so it's a D. And it goes to a G. So you have to start on a D. And you have to trill to an E flat. Let's see here. Which octave is it? Let's see. Yeah. I have to work on my chromatic scale up there. That's something I really would want to work on. So, perfect example of how to practice something. Well, first of all, we got the trill. We got the high D. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, we want to trill the E flat right here with the pinky. You would have to probably, maybe, I don't know, maybe I don't know if a flute player would do like some sort of alternate fingerings because it's a little awkward up there. So that's something I would clearly have to practice to try to get it fast. Okay. Let's get to Summertime. Leonardo's request Summertime. Let's do this, okay? Leonardo says, I hear a trumpet as well. You are correct. Okay, so Summertime. People usually do this one in D minor, so I'm going to do that. Just for fun. Maybe I'll find a jazzy play-along track. Or flute, sheet, music, Summertime. Let's see. Learn jazz standards, Summertime, jazz flute. All right, let's do it. Here we go. Ooh. Here we go. Cool. And then, oh, they have this, they're showing you how to do, learn the arpeggios so you can play improv. Okay, there we go. So that's, if you wanted to get more involved with learning improv, you would keep going on that and like work on the arpeggios to learn the notes in the chords. That's how jazz musicians learn how to expand outside of just sort of like the first step in improv is you take the melody and you kind of play around with the melody, and then you get deeper into it by actually outlining notes that are in the chords and the scales. Okay. Family Guy intro on clarinet. All right. Let's give it a try. I am certainly familiar with the show. I can't think of the theme song. Here we go. Do 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 do. Here we go.
It's violence in movies and sex on TV.
But where are those good old-fashioned values on which we used to rely?
All right. I bet there is a tutorial for this. Let me just see. I'm just gonna put Family Guy theme song Clarinet. You might find. Whoops. Oh, cool. Oh, you know what? This is on. Here we go. One of my favorite tutorial channels that I, play along with a lot. Look at this. They have how to play the Family Guy theme. Here we go. Where's my clarinet? All right, here we go. I'm going to play along with this one. Oh, you know, here's like, sorry. They start with they usually start with this slow version. Sorry, wrong button. Okay, here we go. So they usually start with this slow version. I'm going to skip ahead to the actual play along where it's up to tempo, and here we go. Okay, restart. They don't really give you much warning. Here we go. Fun, jazzy song. There we go. And if you want to learn the notes, you can go to that Clarified channel. I just searched Family Guy theme on clarinet, and it came right up. Okay. Hey, Senor Philip is new here watching. Hi, Senor Philip. All right, do you play an instrument? Give me a little bit of background. If you have a question, please feel free to ask. And I always like to know, if you want to share what part of the world you're watching from, what state, what country. Okay, what's next here? Robert says Gracie Tertzian has a YouTube channel for music theory for those without access to a teacher. Okay, that's a new one to me. Let me check this out. Gracie, I should bring this keyboard closer so I'm not reaching so much. Gracie. There are quite a few, I should say, really good YouTube music theory channels.
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel.
Here it is.
My name is Gracie Terzian and I'm a singer, songwriter, and musician.
Here she is.
And I post a video once a week here on YouTube. My content is a mixture of educational and performance videos, and my instrument of choice is the harp ukulele.
I'm going to subscribe.
However, I use the piano a lot when teaching music theory concepts, and I do a lot of ukulele tutorials.
Cool.
However, you could follow these tutorials on any...
Robert, thank you for that recommendation. Definitely going to check that out. Let's go here. We have a question, and then Leonardo has another request. And Leonardo, I'm happy to do that request as well, because we don't have a ton of requests today. So you picked a good day to make requests. Robert, how long did you practice before sight reading at speed? It depends on the difficulty of the piece. There's certainly pieces that the harder and faster and more complicated the notes get, the more mistakes I make. But something that's on the easy side, I can probably sight read with no problem. It's hard to say how long, because I do remember, I can put myself back in the mindset of when I was not able to do that, and someone would put a piece of sheet music in front of me, and I'd be totally baffled at how someone could sight read something the first time they see it. There's a couple of, what's the word? Not tricks, approaches. Oh boy, there's a word that's escaping me. There's a couple of techniques that will help you, and one of them is looking through the whole piece, looking for important things like key signature and time signature, knowing what scale you're playing in. Is it G major? Is it E major? Looking for any tricky rhythms and kind of looking at those before you start. So there's a number of techniques that will help you become a better sight reader. But the best technique to become a better sight reader is to just force yourself to constantly be trying new things and new music. Practicing sight reading makes you better. Okay. This is my name. You're a week new to the clarinet. I can teach you how to play half notes. Yes, I can. Half notes. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go to Leonardo's request for Over the Rainbow, okay? So, let's see. Half notes. Well, okay, I was looking to see if I have like a visual aid I could use, but we'll just go with no visual aid. So a whole note, everyone, is the note that looks like an oval, right? That's the note that we normally see in beginner band, 4/4, time signature. And an oval, a whole note, is how many beats or how many foot taps? 4. So the whole, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you could think of it like anything else that we divide up into pieces. So if we have, think of a dollar bill, in currency, American currency, a dollar bill. So you hold that, and when you break up a dollar bill into 4 parts, they're called quarters, right? Right. So 4 quarters in a dollar. Anyway, we have a whole note, and we can break it into 4 quarters. So instead of holding it for ta, we tongue each one of those, and it's ta, 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 ta. So we put a tongue on each note, and that splits it. It's like taking a long piece of spaghetti, and you're just chopping it into pieces, okay? Now a half note is when, instead of breaking that into 4 pieces, we're going to break it into 2 pieces. So our foot tap is going like this, and a half note is going to be 2 of these snaps, 2 quarter notes. Ta, ta, but we only tongue, like I said, we only tongue the beginning, and we tongue halfway through. So we have ta, ta. So now we're cutting our whole note. Instead of cutting it into 4 parts, ta, 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 we're cutting it into just 2 equal parts. Ta, ta, okay? So a good exercise to do is to take, get your foot going and practice a whole note, which is 4 taps. And then you do half notes, which is 2 taps each. And then you go to quarters. One important thing when you're practicing on the clarinet, sometimes beginner students will try to do a new sort of breath and a new puff of air for each note. They'll kind of go. So what you have to make sure you do is don't do that. Your mouth and your embouchure should stay sealed on the clarinet. And think of your note as always, the air is always going the whole time. And then your tongue is just tapping the reed to make the shorter, to chop the note into pieces. Okay? So watch. You turn on the air, ta, and you go ta, 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 ta. Don't huff and puff. Notice my embouchure isn't moving. So that's a super important thing to work on. Okay. Let's see. Somewhere. Robert says I try to learn a new song every week. That's a great way to do it. The Entertainer on the saxophone. Yes, I can do that. But I think I'm going to get back to, before that, I'm going to play Leonardo's request, Over the Rainbow on flute. And I bet I can find a nice play along on YouTube. All right, here's what I found. key. Here we go. Yeah. So this is, I mean, it's nice, but they put it in D major, which is kind of weird, and it's out of the range of the flute. So we're going to go back, and we're going to try, let's see. Usually it's done in F or C. Let's do this one. This one's in F. Yeah, F is a little better for flute. Nice. Nice little play along on YouTube there. Cool. So yeah, that was an F major, which is usually find it in F major or C major. C major. Where's my sound here? Turn that off. There it is. Ah, somewhere. That's it. Okay. All right, you're welcome. Yeah, on Barry sax. You know, I need to get a baritone sax. I don't have one. Okay, let's go to the other request. We're going to say hi to Pepsi. Hi, Pepsi. Welcome to the show. Let's see here. The other request was the entertainer. Where'd it go? I want to try to find it here. There it is. Entertainer on saxophone for Judy. Let's see. The I can play the beginning part of it without sheet music. Actually, I could play most of it probably without sheet music because I kind of know how the tune goes. Do 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 do. So whatever key you choose, the way it goes is it has it goes the top note, whatever top note you choose is do, and then it goes second right, goes the second note of the scale. Okay, so I'm going to pick a key to do this in. I'm going to do it in G major for saxophone. Oh boy, what happens there? Oh, let me think for a second here. There it is. Got it. That's the entertainer. Yeah, the second part was eluding me at first. That's it. There we go. That's a fun song. The Entertainer by Scott Joplin. Okay, here comes another request. Thank you very much. You're welcome for that. Oh, hello to Wolf Music. Hi. Okay, El Taco Rocco. So this is, if I am correct, is a band arrangement, or is it jazz band? Because I think I've seen this. El Taco Rocco. Do. So the tricky part about doing these songs is I can't always find the actual sheet music that you need. But let's listen. Oh, look, it's a score. This makes it easier. Here it is. It's a concert band arrangement. So, just so you guys know what's going on, this is on YouTube. You can usually find music that's out there published for band directors to purchase for their students, and this is called, oh no, this is called El Taco Picante. No, it's the wrong song. I didn't even look at the title. Sorry. This is not El Taco. Yeah, thank you, Tanner. Sorry about that. El Taco Picante. All right, so it is not. It's not what you were looking for. El Taco Rocco. Here, let me go back here. Because if I go to this website, sometimes I can find what I'm looking for. Usually I can find what I'm looking for. El Taco Rocco. Let's see what we get. Yeah, Larry Neek. Okay, so this is what I'm getting when I look this up. You get, there it is. Sorry. Okay, so depends on the song. Sometimes when you go into this website, J.W. Pepper is a great website where a lot of music teachers get their music for their kids to play in school. And depending on the song, you might get the whole arrangement that you can look at, and sometimes you just get a small portion of it, which is what we have here. But I can look at the saxophone part here. It's a cool little thing at the beginning there. I'll play with the music here. And that's all they give me. That's all I get. You can listen though. Let me see if I figure that out. That's basically how it goes. But that's a cool song. Tanner, are you guys learning that in school? And I guess that means you're in jazz band. So that's always fun to play some of those really cool jazz band songs. Let me know how your jazz band rehearsals are going. And maybe if you have a concert coming up. Okay, let's keep rocking here. Oh, we have where did I see somebody checked in? Oh yeah, Senor Philip says watching here from Dubai. All right, that's pretty cool. I have an alto sax, started learning basics during the pandemic, and you started from my beginner YouTube videos. So thank you for checking in. Thank you for saying that. If you have any specific questions right now, I'm happy to answer them, or come in every Sunday, same time, and I can answer any questions you have. But thank you for letting me know about that. That's really cool. Leonardo is asking, higher octave notes on flute in mirror scale. So I can talk to you about higher octave notes on the flute, but I don't know what you mean by mirror scale. That's a new term for me. So maybe if you could clarify a little bit what you're asking about there. Hey, Robert. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're referring to that. It seems to you that I have complete fluency. I would say I'm pretty fluent in music, but certainly there's always, the really cool thing about music is there's always ways to improve and get better. I mean, there are people out there who are just insanely talented and fluent in music. Okay. This is my name. I see your request there, and I'm going to try to move through some other requests because I've done a few requests of yours today, but thank you for those requests. Keep them coming. Pepsi Cola, Somewhere Over the Rainbow on saxophone. All right. I actually just did that on flute, but let me do it real quick on sax. I haven't played any tenor sax today, so maybe I'll do that. Somewhere. Okay, real quick on tenor sax. There you go. That's Somewhere Over the Rainbow, slightly abbreviated. I only played the A section once just for time. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, Tanner played it a couple years ago in jazz. Okay. Judy's watching from Kenya. Wow, that's great. Welcome all over the world. Let's see. Okay. So maybe you meant to write, okay. Oh, major scale. You wrote mistyped mirror. Sorry about that. Yes, I can play just the two of us. I'll do that in a sec. But so Leonardo, to answer your question, I would need a little bit more specific to what major scale you're asking about, because of course there are 12 different major scales at least. So it really depends on the scale you're asking about. See if I can think of an example. All right, how about like an F major scale, standard F major scale on the flute? You start here. And then just getting into your higher octave, it's just knowing your fingerings. For example, low F and high F are the same. That's the beginning of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, by the way, octave. Yep, we talked about doing the embouchure for higher notes. G, same as a low G. A, same as a low A. B flat, same. C, same. Where you need to know new fingerings is when we get up to a D. A high octave D is like a G, but we lift up our first finger. Okay, and then a high E, thumb 1 2 1 2, and then a high F, thumb 1 3 1, pinky. So there are some notes in the high octave of the flute that are the same as the low, but then there's other notes, especially when you get pretty high on the flute, you have new fingerings you need to learn. Okay? Here we go. Just the two of us on alto sax. I was just working on this tune with my high school jazz combo. They were playing this song. It's a lot of fun to play. let me find a play along for this. I'll do a play along track. What key is this in? In tenor, I know it's in G. What key is this in? I'll figure it out when I hear the tune. Here we go. So, oh, look at this. This is neat. It's like a live person backing track. Yeah. I gotta wait. Still the introduction. Here we go. Do the intro again. This is a fun song to play. I don't know if this is still the intro or if I'm supposed to play here. Okay. Here's the interlude's coming up. Oh boy. How does that go? That's it. Hey, that was a great request. Maybe a good song to go out on today. But let me see if there's a couple more comments and questions. Actually, it might be at the end of our comments and questions. So, well, maybe we'll bring Dennis. We're gonna wrap up a little bit here, but pretty good good flow of requests and questions today.
Yeah, a lot more requests though. And the thing was that they're more interesting.
Yes.
You know, it's not replaying your beginner stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they challenge you to do the thing you hate most, jazz.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. We all know how much I don't like playing jazz. Just kidding. That's a joke,
Right.
everyone. Yeah, you know, and I like when the comments and questions kind of run the gamut. We did have some very beginner folks who asked some really good beginner questions, and we
Yes.
had some
Oh,
people
absolutely.
all over the range. So we got some great stuff. Another great show. I think this is a good spot to wrap it on up. Get my music going here. But Dennis, another great show.
Excellent. They're
And-
great people. You have great people coming on.
Yep. A lot of good people checking in. We got Robert saying thank you, and I wish I could pronounce our friend's name here who requested that last song. But all right, Dennis, we will see you and everyone next week. Thanks again for a great show. And everybody else, thank you so much for watching. And the next screen you see will be this. So that's how you can, you want to reach out to me on social media or send me an email. That's what you'll see when I close out the show. Okay, everybody, thanks to Terry and thanks to Joe and everyone on the team for helping us out. Thanks for another great week. Great questions, great requests. And folks, we will see you in 1 week. All right? Make sure you practice. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Take care.